since we haven't talked in a couple of weeks, the idea is to find all the turning points and then at the same time also identify support and resistance. Right? That was the homework, right?
Yeah.
All right, walk me through what you have. I think you're doing it on the daily on Tesla.
Yeah, so I switched to dailies.
Okay.
And then first I wanted to draw my support and resistance lines across. So I started from 2021.
Okay.
Starting in January, and then I tried to go. First, I charted. So I tried to chart all the way through, and then once I charted my peaks and valleys and my just my regular charts, I tried to find those support and resistance lines. Starting from 2020 to 2021, at the lowest, you can see the first support is right here. You can see going all the way across. There's one in March, then again in May. So I drew that one as my first support line. And if you actually go back, it almost becomes resistance back just 6 months ago.
Yep.
So
and then a little bit, if we go back a little bit to the right, so in 2020, no, you're other right.
Oh, that's my right.
November, December 2020.
Yeah.
No, let's go to November. If you just keep, yeah. So what I'm trying to show you is the point where it becomes support again. So between that, where you have the cursor, if you go slowly to the right, yeah, just keep going until you see it become support. That red bar there next, so that becomes resistance there, but then if you keep going to the right, that's support right there.
Yeah. Because boom, boom.
Yeah. So the reason why I want to you to see this is, I like to see more than 2 points, and right now, because of that red bar, you're getting at least 3 points, right? You get it there, and then further right twice. So it's important. The more touches you have, the stronger that support or resistance is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, we have three: one right here, one right here, and one right here. And then I kept going. I said, okay, well, what's the next? And I only looked to the right of 2020, at least for my first couple. And then I also looked to the left, but primarily I focused to the right of 2021. So then I looked at it, I was like, hey, where's the next one? And the obvious one was right here. So you have resistance, although it does pass through right here in February 2021. Then just a couple more months later, you have it in March 2021. Then you have it in April 2021. And then also if you go across again in June 2021.
Yep.
August 2021. So this one was like an obvious one right away. It becomes resistance. And then sometimes it does go through it, but very quickly after you see it comes back down. So it's like very clear resistance up and down for kind of like 6 month period right here.
Okay.
So that's another one. And then, yeah. And then also, I guess now that I kind of look at it again, you could also see this as being right here as support.
Yep.
See it right here. You see it right here. You see it right here.
Yeah, let's draw it. Why don't we put it in right now?
I think I didn't do it because it was kind of like messed with my entry and exit.
No, it's okay. You can put it a little bit lower than your entry and exit. Yeah, just slightly lower.
Okay.
Because the actual points is a little bit higher. Yeah, somewhere there is actually, somewhere there.
Okay. Like that. So you see here, 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 here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But as long as you know, right? So you don't have to always draw them. As long as you're aware of that area, and when price comes to that area, say, okay, drawing them just reminds you. That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And then we talked about this one. And then the next one I saw was up here. Very obvious. Support, 1, 2, 3, support.
Resistance.
Sorry, resistance.
Yeah.
And then if you go across, you also see it here becomes support.
Yep.
Resistance right here.
Yep.
And then if you go across, it becomes a little bit of support or resistance here as well. So that one was also another one.
Okay. That's good. I like this.
And then kind of just going beyond this, because we spent so much time in this structure, I thought to say, okay, how about I move up for this one a little bit? The next one I found was up here. Although I feel like, so right here you see boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Okay. Support, boom, boom, support, and so on. And then it does go above it in certain places, but it's still, you see like it's struggling because it's going back down right away. So a lot of support right here or resistance going across. And then I think I also talked about this one right here where it's the earlier line where it becomes resistance here as well all throughout.
Okay.
And I guess you could technically draw another one right here as well.
I draw that one because it's there's a lot of support and resistance there, so I think that's a pretty good one.
Right here.
Yes, yep.
Right there, so you see here, a little bit here. Then,
what you can do when you're not
right here as well, actually.
Yeah. And one thing you can do is go to the lower time frame, and you'll be able to see it even more magnified.
Yeah, the hourly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here, yeah, definitely. All the way across here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this is like a consolidation right here. And then, yeah, so here. You just see it consistently like boom, 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 boom. It's just like, it's just major resistance going across. Okay, I'm going to switch back to the dailies just so it's a little easier to walk through. Okay, so now I think we can move to the entry and exit points.
Yeah.
So again, I tried to look to the right of 2021 just to make it easier. But as you can see right before it, it's on an uptrend.
Yep.
So it's higher, higher, higher. And then, boom, lower high.
Yeah.
Lower low, lower high. So I did my 1, 2, 3s. Of course, you enter after the 2, but enter at the 2, but after the 3.
Yeah.
So my entry point is right there. And then right here, I also see that this is a resistance line. So it's a good call to say, okay, yeah, enter here at 6:15 and then exit before 5:30. I know we haven't talked about exits yet, but I figured this one was an obvious one because there's a clear
support line there. Yeah.
Support line there.
Yeah.
So if you're going to the downside, you want to get up before the support line.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea to even identify that, right? So even if we haven't talked about it, is knowing, hey, this is a potential area where price could reverse. You just get ahead of it and take your profit. Even if it doesn't hit your max target, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, plus this is a pretty good one, especially if you, it's what, $75?
Yeah.
Or, yeah. So
the tricky part of that one is your stop loss is way up high, where your 1 to 3, your stop loss is at the 3.
Yeah.
So distance from your entry to 3 is much wider. So you want at least twice that distance for your exit. However, when you see resistance, you just take the exit instead of waiting for that to happen.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And then you see here it's kind of just going, keeps going. It has like a little, so still lower high, but then you see higher low. You say, okay. But then you get hit with a lower high. So it's not really a structured break.
Okay.
But then you see, okay, higher low, higher high, but then you get a lower high.
Yeah.
Or, sorry, higher
lower
low.
high. It's lower high. I mean, because higher low and the high is also lower high. I think you get both of them in that area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it just didn't, to me, it didn't sound like this is like an entry point that I want to go for.
Okay.
So I skipped it. And there you go. Okay. Lower low. Lower high. Higher low. So then, okay, now finally it looks like it's changing towards the upside. I said, okay, higher low.
Yep.
Higher high.
Yep.
And then higher low again.
Okay.
Enter the two.
Yep.
So you enter here, but again, this is another one where it's right next to a support or resistance. So, you know, it's kind of 50-50. I don't know if I would ever make this call. Just because you could hit this is a strong resistance line like we saw all across right before. See it here, see it here, see it here. I drew it on there just so we can, you know, look at it, but probably not one I would probably take if I was, you know, because if I didn't see what's going on to the right, because you can never tell, right?
Yeah.
What's to the right, you just have to, you know, work based on what you know.
Okay, let's just pause that for a minute. I think you made a very good observation. So you see the resistance, so you don't enter. But what you do is when you go to the right of that potential entry, you see again followed up by a higher low. Right. So when you have that, when the lows keep rising, like you get the staircase, this is where you can get comfortable and enter it after that higher low. Same entry line, but you wait for it to come back there a second time.
Yeah.
So that's one possibility. The second possibility, you see where you have the second circle?
Yeah.
So that area, it broke out of that resistance.
Yeah.
Right? The resistance that's at the bottom of it, the purple line.
Yeah.
To the right, to the left.
Right here?
No. So the line that comes and breaks it, right? The line breaks it, and then it makes a higher high and then a higher low, but that higher low is above that resistance line, which is now acting as support. So that's again another confirmation that you can take this trade at that spot. So you have 2-3 options for this entry. It's just deciding which one makes you more comfortable.
Yeah. What the reason why I didn't take it here is because I just looked at it. Okay, I said, okay, yeah, I had the same thing here. You know, see here, I went like higher, and then it went through the resistance line, and then you had another higher one. But immediately after that, it tanked.
Yeah.
So I wanted like a clear signal, and to me, the clear signal is getting the peaks and valleys, right?
Yeah.
The higher high, and then higher low, and then you enter when it's back at the peak.
Yeah.
So kind of decided to play it safe and then enter here, and then you can run it up as far high as you'd like. Personally, I probably would have exited right here, but
so if you look at the distance from your entry to the bottom of that valley, right next to it, right, the bottom. Yeah, if you look at that distance, you just double that distance. That's where you exit half of your position normally, right? So we're getting a little bit more advanced here, but you exit half of your position at double your stop, you move your stop to break even, and you let the second half ride, and then when you
Kind of
come
like
to
this.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and then when that second half goes to resistance, you can take another half of that half, which is another 1/4 of your total position off, and you
Mm.
again you move your stop loss a little bit higher, and see what happens, as it keeps riding uh, from resistance to resistance.
Nice.
Yeah. So like if you had four contracts, you would exit two contracts at that double that distance.
Yeah, like this right
Yes,
here.
somewhere around there. You would exit one contract right when you get to that resistance,
Yeah.
and then the fourth contract you either exit at the open, right when it blows through that resistance and it opens, or you can just say, hey, I'm just gonna see what happens depending on how much time you have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I was kind of just thinking like if I was like in this position, because I'm like still early in my trading career,
Yeah.
I say if I like, if I go all the way to here, I'll just probably exit like the whole thing before my even yeah, obviously it can go from here to here, but it can also go from here to here. Down here.
So that's why the way you do it is you take half off
Yeah.
at double the distance and you move your stop to break even. So you've at least made 25% gain.
Mm.
And then when you take another quarter off, now you're moving your stop to that half distance. So you're more than doubling your money at that point,
Yeah.
right? So that's a goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, I feel like this would be way more than a double.
Oh yeah,
This
it is.
huge.
That's why you keep riding it up, right? That's why you take off your positions in halves, right? You keep halving your positions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost $100 from here to here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually more than $100 if you enter 760. It's $150 almost.
Yeah. But what's your stop? What's from the yellow line
Yeah.
to the valley down below? What is it?
This one, it's
Yeah.
like $40.
So
So this is
it's
108 to 156.
yeah. So
Yeah.
about $50.
$50. Yeah.
So when you move $100, you remove half your position.
Yeah.
And then when you move the other $50 from there, you remove another half of the half. So that takes care of many losses, many smaller losses.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how you
Pretty
grow
much.
your account fast.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And then kind of just continuing on, I just said, okay, well, if I don't enter here, if I don't enter any more from here and I only exit all the way up, the next one would be so you see a higher, I was going to do another peaks and valleys. So you say higher low, but then you get a lower high. So, okay, then you say, okay, well, is this going on the downtrend? But then you get another higher
Yeah.
higher low, but then you also get a lower high. So I just decided to skip this whole section because it's a little confusing. Like I don't know what's going on. But then you get if you see here, you get a lower high, lower low, lower high. And so I told myself this can also be a downtrend play. So technically, based off the chart, you can say if it's going under the downtrend, you can 1, 2, 3, and then you'd enter at the 2. But you can also already see, it's going on the uptrend after this. So obviously,
your 1, 2, 3 is kind of reverse, right? Your 1 should be where the 2. The first time you have a lower high is where you have a 1.
lower high.
Yes.
Right here.
No, the next one.
This.
Yeah. Right. For the downside, your one is always a lower high. It's not a lower low. The way you're drawing it. Right?
Oh. Got it.
Look at the first circle, right, in March 2021.
March 2021. Oh, here?
Yeah. See where your one is?
Yeah.
See where your two is? Because your entries should be at the bottom. Your entry cannot be at the top for a downside.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right? So that I'm a little bit confused.
Oh, yeah, so it should be like that.
Yeah. And then move your circle to the right place now.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you enter after the 3. I should make it right here.
No, to the, yep, right there. Yep. Yeah. Now, we're going to get into more advanced techniques, right? This is, as you can see, these are very late entries.
Yeah.
Right? But the goal of this exercise is to get the concept. Right? Price is going to continue in that direction when it breaks the lows to the downside, when it breaks the highs to the upside.
Yeah.
So that's the purpose of this exercise. And as you can see, it's easy to miss, right? Or if you don't keep practicing.
Yeah.
Like where you had your entry, it was like, it looked like an upward entry, but you were thinking of it for a downward entry.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I wouldn't enter, when it kind of just looks wonky like that.
Yeah. But there you get a good entry because it went all the way down to support.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Then you just and then you see it right here. Yeah, like you said, it's at support. So bypasses support. So
but when it ends up, if you go to the right, it goes to the next support. If you go to the right some more.
Yeah.
Yeah, right there. Oh, you just missed it. No, if you go all the way to the right, keep going.
Here?
Yeah, right there. No, down the bottom.
Oh, here? Yeah.
Yes, because you're going to the downside. You want it to go down, right?
Yeah.
Right? You're not going to the upside. Right. So you're trying to hit the next target.
Yeah.
So once you blow through your first support, your second support is your next target. And price went there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then my next entry on the upside is right here. You're going all the way down, and then you get higher low, higher high, and then another higher low. So you'd enter at the 2.
Yeah.
But next to 3. But again, this is also tough because it's right at a resistance. Yeah. So it's 50-50 whether or not you want to take this trade or not. Yeah. I probably would at this point in my trading career.
You probably wouldn't because one, if you look at where your 1 is, where the value is, and where the 2 is, it made a big move and only had a very shallow pullback.
Exactly.
Right? And so I worry about those, especially at resistance.
Yeah.
It went all the way to that resistance and it struggled.
Yeah, plus it's like very short amount of time, within like a couple of days.
Yeah.
Like a week or 2, it's just kind of like shot up all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So you already know it's going to be a pullback after like this big rally. Plus, like if you see across, it's like resistance. It's only once in the past like 6 months where it's gone above this resistance line right here and right here. So probably wouldn't enter, but I just wanted to draw it. And then going to the right of this, and then obviously you have lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and then you'd enter at the 2.
Yep.
Enter right here, and you can play all the way to this resistance line right here.
Yeah. Okay. So I like this. Let me show you something now.
Okay.
Let me show you something. Let's see if I can make this a little bit bigger so you can see more of my screen now.
What happened to Zaina, by the way? I thought he was going to make it.
Me too. That's what I thought.
Misty's just started making a lot of money. And then he's just leaving us behind.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I think this is enough. Okay. So what I want to show you is let me find something I don't usually draw. I don't have any drawings on. I want to find something. Okay, so this is good. So what I want to show you is an important concept here. So you draw your support and resistance, right? You have your support and resistance. I think this is a good lesson because a couple of things that I've seen on your chart, you've identified this really well. And then when price drives to
By the way, are you sharing your screen? I can't see anything yet on my side.
Okay, good call out. Let me make sure that it's working. Okay. All right, can you see it now?
Yeah.
Okay, so these white lines are support and resistance that I have drawn.
Okay.
And when price is coming to that support, it has a tendency to collapse, or it can go, it can do many things, right? It can do many things in here. So one thing I want to do is I want you to focus on this right here. I want you to focus on this right here. So when price is coming from the bottom and it goes through resistance and then it has a pullback but does not go below that previous resistance and it now becomes support, this is a good place to enter. This is a very good place to enter. Now you don't wait. I mean, you don't enter right here. Again, we haven't gotten into the entry techniques yet for earlier entry, but at least this gives you an indication. Okay, this was resistance. It's now support. I can enter here when I break this high.
Isn't it? Yeah, because that's just peaks. That's just continuation right there.
Yeah, that's just continuation, right? The concept doesn't change. What I'm showing you is when you have this, you get comfortable to enter.
Mm-hmm.
When you have this and it doesn't go through it, and this makes a higher low, I would not feel comfortable entering here because it's at resistance. It's a resistance again. There is no evidence that this resistance is blown through and has become support, right? Like this, blown through becomes support. This is strong evidence, but here it hasn't given us that evidence.
Yeah.
Another one is here. It blows through it, but it comes back down. Again, it hasn't given us any evidence that this resistance is now becoming support. So you skip this, you skip this, you skip this, but here you take it because now you can see, oh, I've blown through resistance. It is acting as support. I can take it.
Yeah.
This is how you.
And you would enter. You would enter right where your mouse is, or right
where
there.
The yellow line is, right? Yeah. That's the basic technique, right? When we get to advanced techniques, we're going to enter much sooner than that.
Yeah.
So the idea is, let's see. this let's see, let me use this distance here, this 92 cents in this example, is your stop, right? You are wrong if price goes back down below this from your entry. So let's say this is roughly $1, so you want price to move $2 in your favor to exit. What I want to do is I want to show you various techniques where we enter and half that stop. Instead of $1, maybe it's about 50 cents because we are entering sooner. But we're going to find a reason to enter. We're not just going to enter just because we want to enter sooner. We're going to enter because the narrative, the pictures, everything tells us it's time to enter, which we'll get into as we get into advanced techniques. But now you enter here, you have a bigger stop, which means you have a bigger move to exit. Here you have a smaller stop. You can even say, you know what, since I'm only risking $1, 50 cents, when price moves $1 from this entry, I'm going to exit. Right? You can say that, and you'll exit much sooner. Instead of waiting for $2 move from up here, which is 50 cents later, you're doing it $1 from here. You're actually exiting $1.50 sooner, but you're gaining the same amount.
Yeah, because you're entering early.
You're entering early, right? That's the goal.
Where would you enter exactly? Would you enter like right there, right after the circle,
this
above
is just
the
a straight line? So this is just a straight line. There's no way I can tell you where I would enter exactly. Right? We have to look at charts. I have to tell you what story I'm seeing to enter. Right? So the zigzag is not enough for the advanced entry. But it's definitely, when you see support acting as resistance, when you see resistance acting as support, it's definitely a good sign to enter. When you get very, very comfortable, what you will do is, as soon as it touches support, you will enter. But you'll say, you know what, if it blows through by 50 cents, I'm exiting. Then I'm wrong. Then your stop loss.
Very tight stop loss.
Very tight stop loss because you're comfortable with this entry. But how do you know that? Right? Like here, right here. It touched. If you had entered, you are wrong for a long time. Right? So there are some techniques that we're going to use to show you here's a reason why you should enter this trade.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I think that was the key part.
Okay.
So remember this: when support or resistance, it doesn't matter which direction, is broken, you want it to act as the opposite line, so that you can be comfortable to enter. If this is down here, somewhere in the middle, then you're okay, right? You're not worried about this. Then you can enter, because you can at least say, I can go this far and exit if I need to. I have no concerns. But when this is very close to that line, and you get this, it's like, I don't want to enter here. I don't want to enter here because I don't know what this guy is going to do. Is this guy going to do this? Right? Or is it going to do this? I have no idea. Right? So that's why I'm a little bit more cautious. But when I see this, hey, it blows through it, it acts as support, I'm good to go. Right?
Nice.
That's the main thing.
Okay.
That's the main thing that you're going to look at, right? So for example, right here is real example. So this is resistance. Let's just do this whole line here. This is resistance because you can see resistance, resistance, resistance.
Yeah.
It blows through it, but then it collapsed, right? But this time it blows through it, then it held as support. Actually, twice it held as support. So from here, you can say, you know what? Here I'm comfortable to enter. Here I'm comfortable to enter. And if you look at this 1 hour bar, as soon as I go 1 penny above this 1 hour bar, this is where I will enter. I will enter at 73.81 instead of entering at 74.70. So I'm entering about $1 sooner.
Yeah.
Because I see it hold twice.
Yeah.
Right? And this previous day, you can say, well, you know what? It broke, it held, and as soon as it breaks above this bar, I can enter. But that didn't happen. But then again, it held here, so I can say, well, now I have a better chance. So 73.80 to a stop of about 72, about $1 stop. I needed to move $2. 73, 75.80, which gave me that exit. And now we're sitting with the second position at break even because we have taken that half position off. Make sense?
Yeah, it's a lot harder when you see it on the chart than when it's drawn, but yeah, I think I do.
Yeah, so which part is harder?
You just can't, I guess I'm so used to drawing my my charts.
Your zigzags?
Yeah, my zigzags. Yeah.
So it blows through it. It
Can
comes
we
back
draw
and
the one
holds.
before it too, real quick? Why you wouldn't take the other one?
Which one? This one?
To the left of it.
This one?
Yeah.
But this is resistance, right? It went through it,
Yeah.
but it did not hold as support.
All
right?
the way through. Yeah.
Yeah, it just, this is where there's manipulation happening.
Yeah.
Like institutions are faking us to make us believe, hey, we're gonna continue to drive up, and you take it, and then they wipe you out.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why I don't take this trade. The next time it blows through it, and like I'm gonna wait to see this
When it comes
area
back
as
there.
support. I want to make sure this is support, and then I can take it. Right? So now you don't have to see the zigzag, because if you can see this line, all you're seeing is, have I gone through it once, and have I come back down without going through it to the other side? That's all you got to see.
Yeah.
Right? And then you can say, boom, I can take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any questions?
No. Pretty straightforward. It ties. It's kind of like the peaks and valleys, but it's just figuring out like where to enter instead of just saying, "Hey, I'm just going to enter at after the 2. This is where you can enter a little sooner, and then you can get out very sooner and risk less a little bit." Because, or you can even let it run for longer if you do the 25% at a time.
Yeah.
In the last 25%, you can let it run for a lot longer.
Yeah. So what we will do then in the next session, we'll just do a session on how to take earlier entries. If we're just gonna take it from this basics, instead of saying, "Hey, I'm gonna wait up here to enter," give me an indication how I can enter sooner. So we'll find those entries. We'll find those entries.
Okay.
One way, you can see this whole thing play out, and I'll put a vertical line here so you know exactly what we're talking about. If you go, for example, to the 5-minute bar, so here is where we said if it breaks above this, we will enter. But if this is acting, let me redraw the here it is. Was it the hour chart?
Yeah.
Yeah, right there. So this is where it didn't go through it, but then next time it went through it, and then it tested it as support. Also here, right here. This is the one. This is actually the
Yeah.
one. This is actually
That's
the
the
one.
first one where you wouldn't go in, right? Or to
This
the
is the
left
one
of
I'm
that.
looking for, not this one.
Yeah.
I'm looking for this one, and I'll move this to here. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Let's do this one. So when we're looking at first time it went through, as you can see on the 5 minute, it went back down. It actually acts as resistance again. You see how it doesn't manage to go through? So you wait, and then it went through now this time around.
Yeah.
And now you have actually when you go to a lower time frame, which I'm not recommending we go to a lower time frame, I'm just showing you how to look at things because it's all the same no matter what time frame. We blow through it, we come test it as support, and now I can say, hey, when I clear this 5 minute bar, I can enter. I can enter at 73.42, have my stop at 73.07, about 40 cents. And if I move up 80 cents, 73, 42, 73, 73.40 plus 80, 74.20. When I get to 74.20, I'm exiting half my position, right? I exit half my position, and then I have my stop at break even. The other half I'm out at break even. So I've made that on 50% of it. I've doubled the gain. And then I have this entry again where I see, oh, it broke through. This is again as support. Now second time around, when I go above this 5 minute bar down here, I can enter. Again, my stop 73.27 to 73, 30 cents move. So when I move 60 cents, 73.80, I'm exiting half my position. And then, up here where it struggled earlier, I'm exiting the other half of the half. And I have now a quarter position left. I can let it ride. And then, for me, when I let it ride and I see a gap like this, I'm out. Right? I don't have to baby this trade anymore because I made another 74.50, and I made another 60-70 cents on this, so I'm out. 60-70 cents move on options, I get pretty good return. So, but the concept is the same, right? The concept is the same. It's just where do we find our earlier entries? See on the 5 minutes how early it was? It's down here. How do we find those earlier entries on the 1 hour? Because you missed this one, your entry is, hey, as soon as I break the bar that has rejected to go down, I'm going to enter. So this is your stop, this is your exit. So we'll go, this is just a teaser for today. We'll go much deeper in our next lesson.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we will focus on. So no homework for you specifically. You can keep checking your zigzag and making sure that your 1-2s are in the appropriate place. But our main focus is going to be how do we find earlier entries.
Okay. Do you think it's a good time to start practicing a little bit as well with with real, kind of in the real world?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Be patient. It's going to come. It's going to come. Because I want you to get into the earlier entries when you practice for real. And then when you make a mistake, it's smaller losses.
Yeah.
And then when you're doing practice, you're going to do stock, not options.
Oh, you're going to do stocks? Okay.
Yes, because you want the stock movement, right? That's what you're capturing. Options capture the stock movement. So I want you to practice taking action on the stock movement.
Okay.
So that's what we're going to focus on.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Meany. Good class.
Yeah.
At this rate, Zaina and Navi are not going to be able to catch up.
Yeah.
We keep